unopposed. No one has stopped him, just like that guy who's the head of the World Health Organization. Complete disaster. And he was recently reelected. He wasn't even reelected. You can't even call it an election if it's unopposed. It's just they put him back in his job, or they kept him in his job. But they said that these were elections and it was unopposed. You've got to be, well, not you, but someone would have to be completely stupid to think that in a world population of billions of people and millions of doctors and hundreds of thousands of scientists, that no one would want that job. Of course, a lot of people want that job. But the fact is that is a controlled organization, and they wouldn't even consider a different candidate. So the whole thing is just fraud. World Health Organization used to be a credible organization. Now they have no credibility whatsoever. Okay, so back to this. We're going to talk about good stuff. We're going to talk about bad stuff. Why do we have to study logical fallacies when we're talking about logic? Because logic is actually very simple, and we wouldn't have much to talk about if all we did was talk about the good things in logic. Because here's how logic works. You build arguments and you connect ideas. That's what logic is. It's simple. It's linear. That's why it's called linear thinking. Sometimes it gets, some people criticize it as being boring. And we'll talk about why would someone criticize logic as being boring and linear and restricted? Why would they do that? So that's part of what we call the incredulity fallacy. So even that critique of logic is a fallacy. But here's how logic works. You put something valuable that's true and you connect it to something else that's valuable and true. And you keep doing that until you have a new model, a new idea, a new policy, or a new paradigm. It's actually pretty straightforward and linear. That's why we call logic. What are some of the analogies that go with logic? Linear thinking, things being straightforward, right? So it's stuff that makes intuitive sense, which isn't to say that we can rely on intuition all the time. So here's where logic doesn't work. Let's say you try to connect something that doesn't really connect. It kind of looks like it fits, but it doesn't really fit.